Well, everybody, it's finally happened. Something that many of us, not all, are going to be happy, but many of us may. And it messed up my programme I was going to do later today with a few facts that I've been noticing on the Commons and the Lords. But the big news being that Liz Truss has finally stood down. Thank God for that. Hopefully, the new successor won't make the same hash-ups like her predecessor and her. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next. Will they make the same mess-ups or will they not? But let's be honest. In all history, as those the news are stating, of all prime ministers that we've had in power, you've had last for at least a year or just under a year. Now she's got to be in a Guinness Book of Records, isn't she? This Liz Truss thing. Prime Minister, my foot, had more say in government's hopes and thoughts than anyone who was stupid enough to vote her in had. But, you know, they should have learned that. Why, if they weren't happy with the way she was going to be running the policy or the way she was coming over, I think many people who would agree with me was, why on earth vote the person in? Same as why did they vote her predecessor in? As I always said on many other YouTube-y things, the predecessor was no good as the thingy of London. You know, he made so many hash-ups there, brought many places to a hold and nearly closing many places down, and then they had the audacity to put him in power. And what did he do? The same mess-ups he did when he was the mayor. That was the word I was looking for. When he was the mayor. I mean, God, I remember taking him when I was driving a bus once, way back in the day when I was successfully able to work without health issues, getting in the way of that. I took him before he was even the mayor of London. I took him to a point in London because he got on my bus, and he looked like a mess then, as he still did now. I mean, seriously. And now they've still given him a seat in the chambers and seats in the Lords and the committee. I mean, still, is that a wise move when he was no good as a prime minister? But yep, who am I? I'm just a non-political party person who shares the best I can understand and hear on the Lords and the Commons and also the occasional committee. Mind you, some of the stuff you get on a committee is old news or it's pre-recorded, though they say it's live. Nah, it's not really. But some of it gives you an insight of what's going on there. But, you know, I watch them now because why not? Then I can share my opinion and hope that my opinion is heard, and whether it's agreed or disagreed, it's only the way I would interpret it. It's always, I always say, it's a one-sided view. But I'm quite happy if people welcome it, thumb it up, or even subscribe to me. I don't know, will they? I might just be doing this and nobody else sees me. I don't know. I'm not trying to put a statement on. I'm just having something interesting to try and talk about. But yeah, where was we? Yeah, I took him and there weren't even a thank you driver. It was a gruff, he gets off to where he got off, and that was it. Little did I know, within a year of that connection with that particular person, he came mayor. Oh, biggest mistake of society ever made. And then to add it further to insult and injury, then his bloody party decide, well, he'll make a very good mayor, prime minister. Really, that's why he didn't last as long. That's why he still made a hash up when he was a bloody mayor. So there you go. I'm glad he's gone, and now I'm glad she's gone. To me, I think she was trying to be too much like the Iron Lady, as we all well know, for those of my generation know. She was too much trying to be like a Thatcher, and yet she still was no bloody good. She still could not hold her own. We can't really say yes, we can't agree, we can't say we agree or disagree. Because 9 out of 10, if I was in a party already, I'm sure her party would be gunning for me for saying this. But, what the hey? The thing is, I've got to say this to the Tory government. Think wisely on who you are voting. Think of what people want. Think of the person that's going to offer and come forth with what people want, not how much wealth they hold behind their back seats on their derrieres and how many investments they may have acquired over their family's history. Because they do not really, prime ministers, they are not. They're just too concerned about how wealthy they are and how wealthy they can become being as a parliament member, as being a member of parliament, a prime minister. Highest paid next to the royal. No disrespect to King Charles, I'm a royalist. I won't deny that. I swore to allegiance to adhere to the throne, and I still will do, even though I'm no longer in service. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, finally, she's listening to her party, and they wanted her to stand down. It's about time. But you can look at it two ways. You can either shudder to think who's going to succeed, or think on comprehension of who is worthy. Now, in personal opinion, I would say this to the Lords, and I'd also say this to the Commons, if I had a seat still valid. I do actually have seats there. Well, my genes do. But thanks to a certain Prime Minister of the past, removed my liability for those seats that I could have had. And I would have gladly taken one of them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm no politician. I'm just a person who has an opinion, and I like to share my opinion, and hopefully in the same place, answer odd questions, or try and answer questions that people ain't really getting either via the news or via the live political party television shows. I mean, what can one say? Even when you look at Parliament's channel on the TV, they don't really tell you exactly what both the Lords are talking about or what, in fact, the Commons is talking about. And 9 out of 10, it's only a pre-recorder when you're looking at the committee meetings. They are 9 out of 10 either. Well, mainly, I think they're mainly audio rather than live. Now, people would like to see who's speaking what, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is that Truss has gone, and now we've got to hold our breaths as a country to see who are the Tories going to make a mess up to, or a successful thought of who should be the successor of that shortest Prime Minister in history has done, which about time, and all cheers to both noses to the left and noses to the right. We finally got rid of someone that weren't doing the job they tried to proclaim. So either way, hopefully whoever succeeds this seat of the Prime Minister, I hope that her party choose wisely and make sure no one is going to be another flump like the two predecessors that have just gone, and now we know who they are. One lasted longer than I anticipated. The other one, as long as I anticipated, but held on like this one did. And, so the choices are now, are the Tory government really thinking hard on whom they are placing as as the ideal candidates to run their party? Or is it by their choice of wealth that they want to still carry on choosing? No disrespect to the failures, the losers, that they tend to put in power that messes up the country even further, and the economical wealth of this country always is the part that, whichever messes up Parliament, tends to mess up the most, the economy of this country. Anyway, I've said all I want. This is me saying hi again, and subscribe if you've watched this, and look out for more of my interesting points of view on government on this particular channel. Till then, be good, have fun, and keep those ears and eyes peeled and choose the right candidate. That's to the parties, including us, the public. Thumbs up. Bye.